fellow Flosstubers, it's Patty here with my January, February update. I also have, okay, I'm not starting this again. Deep breath. Okay, my stash and start restraint has been a failure, so I will discuss that later on in the podcast. But I will start saying hello. Hope everybody had a great January and February. I hope you have your beverage of choice. Mine is water. I hope you have your craft of choice so that we can chat. The end of January, beginning of February, I was in Hawaii for 17 days. My husband has a convention that he goes to every year over there, and yeah, it's great. The second week was convention. The first week was vacation. We stayed on the Hilo side of the Big Island in Pahoa, which is, I think, like 45 minutes out of Hilo. It's, 35, 45 minutes, depending on traffic. We stayed in a VRBO house, which was a vacation rental by owner, for those who don't know what the acronym was. On the ocean, swimming pool, 2-story, woke up to the sunrise every morning. It was beautiful. It rained almost every day, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't a heavy rain or anything, and it would go away and the sun would come out. It was gorgeous out. Hubby saw turtles. We did see a whale like 3 or 4 days into the trip. From what I understand, the humpback whales were not as prevalent as they usually are because the waters were too warm for them to come down, and their food source on the way down wasn't there, from what the snorkel guy told us. So we went snorkeling. Let's back it up. We went snorkeling the second week, and the snorkel guide said that the food source coming down, since the waters were so warm, it wasn't as prevalent. So they're not jumping out of the water, they're not, expending energy that they don't need to. So they were really quiet. So for the first week, I sat in this beautiful home with tons of natural light. I was able to stitch every day, had no problem. I could start stitching at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 or 6 o'clock at night, and then you'd have to turn the light on, and then the bugs are attracted to the light, so you'd look in the window and you'd go, there's bugs. So I did not do a lot of stitching at night. I just turned the light off, or I read, or I watched a lot of Hulu. So, because there was no TV upstairs. This is the first time I've ever stayed at a place where there was no TV in the living room. There was no TV in the living room. It was downstairs on the second floor. Downstairs. It's not a basement. It was, just the downstairs. There was a TV in the bedroom, but we really didn't watch it very often. So that first week we hardly watched any TV, except I watched Hulu and he watched YouTube. So that's about all we did. Besides, he would go out and drive around the island. He saw quite a bit of different things that he wanted to see because we're looking to buy. So he was looking at neighborhoods and looking at things that we can be doing, and we both agreed we like Pahoa a lot. It's a really great space area. So we'll see how that works out. The second week, it was too dark in the hotel, so there was no stitching. So I guess I should get on with the show because it's already 4 minutes in and I have only been talking about vacation. I got a nice tan. I'm pretty happy about that. Got a lot of lights walking in. Yeah. Found out I cannot eat chocolate anymore. Chocolate and me do not agree. In fact, I missed one of the ladies' functions because of chocolate, because I just was sick to my stomach and could not, and we were going on a bus ride, and I just knew, no, I can't get on that bus and go on that bus and be sick. So that's kind of sad. So, Raven Queen by Mirabilia, 2015 design. I took to Hawaii with me. Okay. I finished the inside of her dress. I changed up the inside of her dress. The inside of her dress had 3 different colors. It had this main color, a dark green and a light green. To me, the greens, the 2 added greens, made her look like she wet herself. And I'm sorry, I just didn't like that look. To me, that's what it showed. So if it didn't show that to you, that's fine, and I hope I haven't offended anybody, but that's how I felt. It felt like she wet herself, and I was not going to do that. Now, I tried to do the 1/1 skin while I was there. I could not see it. The magnifier would not clip onto my hoop, so I said to heck with it, and I could see with that great light without the magnifier to do the 2/2, so that's what I did. So I finished the inside of her dress. I started the this border area or column area, and I finished this area as well. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So this is on 32 count linen in the Stormy Clouds color that I got from 123 Stitch. The color I used for the middle of the dress was the Monsoon by Water Lilies. So there we go. And I like how that turned out much better than the other green. And I did try the other greens, I just didn't like it. So I tore it out. And then I got some weird variations one other time and had to tear it all back out. So I did do quite a bit. I had a lot of frogging to do as well. Oops. Don't lose the picture. I need the pictures. Okay. The second thing I worked on this month, I realized that here it is, almost the end of February. And I did not do my Brooks Books stitch along for February. So last night I sat down and I did it. So my January stitch was Dorothy, which I did 2/1. And you'll know why I did that face, because it's supposed to be 3/1. So that's what Toto is. Toto is 3/1. Dorothy is 2/1. And I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to tear that all out, because you run the risk of ripping this stuff. And I'm not going to do that. So, Dorothy, she needs 4 rows of beads on her shoes. I just didn't feel like doing those last night, so I didn't. And as you see Toto's tongue right there, that's the pink that's supposed to be her cheeks. It was my error, not the color error. So, I'm not going to fix Dorothy's cheeks either. They're just going to be what they are. So, that's my stitch along with the Stitch Mania group. I'm going to be working on the Tin Man for March. There he is. So that's what's next for that stitch along. Now that I know it only takes a day, I can do it on a weekend, get that stitch done, and that's great. I do need to post pictures. I have not done the January post or the February post. I will do that probably this weekend. I'll go ahead and post both of those up so that I can show Stitch Mania how I'm doing on that. So, are you wondering where the one garden mandala is? Are you? You know I worked on it. You know I did. I have to. So, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I am Patty Sand, PATTISAND 631. So, if you follow me, I'll follow you. So you've seen the progress. I haven't been taking daily progress pictures. I'm going to start doing that again, but I haven't done that lately. But here I am on this. So I finished this dude. I finished that big banner. I finished all but one of these now. These are all done. I did, I think I might have done both, or at least I know I did from here to here to here. Last night I was booking along on this inside black line, and I got it out to as far as I could on my frame, and then I started this one, and I couldn't get this one to line up with this one, and I couldn't figure out why. You know, they need to line up so that it doesn't look weird. So I looked back, in this very first stitch right there, I did 1 over 1, or no, I did 1 over 2. 2 over 1? 2 over 1. I'm sorry. This is like the 4th time I've done this, so I can't think. So I tore all that back out and redid it, and then redid that one and said, I've had enough. And that's when I picked up the Brooks books. So the rest of February, I want to finish the border. So I should be able to finish that in the end of this month, start of next month. I should be able to finish that border, and then I'll go from there. I'm almost thinking that the volcano, it will be the last thing I do before I start doing the beading and the specialty stitches. So there's a little bit left to go, not too much. I figure another month or two, and hopefully that will be done, and then I can start beading and doing all that stuff. I am thinking about picking up and making a PVC pipe frame big enough to hold, you know, hold it in the width wise, so that when I do the beading, I can just keep wrapping it around and the beads won't get broken that way. That's what I'm hoping for. And actually it sits this way. So this is the top. Yay! It's looking so great. So I'm gonna probably pick up some PVC pipe in the next week or so and get that going for it. Which frames and stands are not part of stash. They're not. They're a necessity. You need them. So now it's time that if you don't like to watch grown women feel bad about the stash they purchased, or you just don't like to watch stash at all, I totally get it. So if you're leaving me now, I hope you have a great stitchy month, and I will see you at the end of March, beginning of April. Have a great month. But if you like watching stash, and if you like a woman going, oh my God, then this is for you. It started out the end of January. Yeah, I didn't even make it a month, you guys. I did not even make it a month. I saw that Jeannie from Minding My Minders had Star Wars. She had Star Wars sayings, so I didn't even think about needle minders being stash. And to me, they're not. To me, they're jewelry for my stitching, so they're not stash to me. But anyway, I saw Don't Get Cocky. 3 of my favorite lines. The Nerf herder line. I can't quite remember what she says anymore. Stinky Nerf herder, or dirty Nerf herder, or something like that. Don't get cocky, and laugh it up, fuzzball. 3 great lines from Star Wars. So if I got Don't Get Cocky, I needed the movie poster, right? And then I'm a January baby, so I needed the January fairy. So, okay, it didn't click that people consider the stash. I don't, so that was fine. Then everybody was talking about the free Nora Corbett. Ooh, free Nora Corbett? Really? There was a free Nora Corbett, you guys. Didn't click. It's free. I didn't pay any money for it. So this is the Queen Anne's lace I picked it up for free. 2 days later, I went, oh, that's stash, Patty. That's stash. You silly girl, that's stash. So, yeah. I like it. Oh, it's so cute. You can't see the white, but there's a whole bunch of white bead. I think there's beads and stuff underneath her dress, and it's just so pretty. It is just so pretty. So I have that one. I don't feel bad. You know, it was free. So then Miss Jeannie again at Minding My Minders, which, as you know, which is sad. She's on hiatus, and I hope she comes back because her minders are great. She had a Zelda stained glass needle minder. I have that Zelda stained glass that I'm going to work on eventually. I mean, it's back there. So I need that for that, right? Right. So I got that. And then I picked up Star Wars. I thought that was awesome. I like these plastic ones a lot. I really do like the plastic ones. So I'm minding my minders. Awesome. And Jeannie is so great. She is so great. I'm going to miss her. And like I said, hopefully she will come back. So then we went to Hawaii. And this was the second week of February. No, the first week of February. We moved over to the other side of the island. And there's ABC stores, so I picked up this refrigerator magnet that I'm going to make into a stitch marker, needle minder, and my hair. Sorry. So this will be a needle minder eventually. Right now, it just holds my pattern to the stand that I have it on. And then I had looked at this and thought that I would wait to buy it because I could wait. It's $3.95 plus shipping, but Quilt Passions on the Kona side in downtown Kona sells quilting supplies, yarn, needle, cross stitch, needle point, canvases, Q snaps. Got a 6-inch Q snap while I was there at that store. So I looked around before I went to see what kind of stuff they had in their patterns, just because it's Hawaii, my stash is already blown, the stash restraint's blown. I wanted a Hawaiian one that I could bring back from Hawaii. It would be really awesome. So this is a Frances L. Johnson's Designs, and I had seen this design on Facebook and asked the lady who did it. So I looked up her and it was there. So they had one copy. So I had to pick it up because, yeah, I need it. Look at that. It's going to be awesome. So I picked that up, and as I was starting to leave the area, I saw these Weeks Dye Works. They're confetti. So it's a red, orange, yellow, blue, green. I figured that would look great as the border. And I'll try the words, but I'm not sure if it'll do it in the words. But I think that the border would look really cool in that. So that's what I picked up from Hawaii. Yeah, I really wasn't going to, but it was $5.95, so I figured that was the $3.95 plus shipping. And I have it, and it's mine. It's mine. It's mine. So I got back home, and I was watching a podcast. I can't remember the name of the podcast. I can't remember whose podcast it was, so if you watch me, let me know. She was talking about her Christmas in London, which I've already had. You know, it's all kitted up. I have the fabric and everything because I got the white, just the plain the plain white Belfast. I was gonna, you know, do it in this. It was gonna be fine. But she was looking around for some colored fabric. She wanted some kind of a multicolored fabric, but all of those fabrics are too busy for this pattern because there's a lot going on in this pattern. It is dense. It's a very dense pattern as well. But there's greens and reds and pinks and purples and browns and grays and blacks. So it's got tons of color in it. So any fabric, you have to be really careful that it doesn't, to me, so it doesn't detract from the stitching itself. There's even blue in there. So she talked about white opalescence, and she showed it, and I went, that's it. That's what I need. So I went on to 1, 2, 3 stitch because, hey, I've already blown the stash restraint is gone. So here we go. I picked up a packet of 32 count, and it's not tagged. So I don't know if it's Belfast or Cashel or whatever kind of blended it is, but here it is. This is what I'm going to be doing the Christmas in London in. Is that sparkly? So I'm going to take this 32 count white Belfast and look at Sadie and say, this is your fault, Sadie. All your fault, Sadie. Because when I saw this one, I wasn't that enamored with it. It was pretty, she's pretty, but I wasn't enamored with the colors. Gotta pull these out of here. I wasn't totally enamored with the color, but Sadie's, your Stevie is beautiful. So this is the Gypsy Queen by Mirabilia. Isn't she pretty? She's pretty, but it doesn't do it justice. Sadie's is so pretty. And I usually don't buy DMC from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. I don't know what I was thinking. I hit add to cart, and then I went and paid for it without realizing I had all the DMC on there still. So I had all the DMC. I didn't even go through my stash of DMC, guys. I mean, come on. I do that. I always look through my stash before I purchase. And I buy it from Joann's and Michael's and Walmart. I don't buy from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. Not DMC. But, yeah, I blew it. So, there we go. That's all the DMC. All the DMC. Ooh, it's dropping it too, sorry. And then I've got the 3 Krenix, or Krenix, I have no idea how you say it. So we've got a copper one, which is 150V. Then we have 3232, which is a gold. And then we have 002V. And we have a phone call. I will be right back. And I'm back. So, I was in the middle of explaining all the rest of these colors. So, then we've got beads. Beads. Let's see. There is 4 of the 3004, which is a purple. Okay. And then there is 2 different teardrops. So these are Crystal Treasures, 13052, which is a purpley one. And then we have a 13056, which is a red. And then we have some Magnifique, 10032, and like a magenta color. I guess I like that color because that's kind of what she looks like. And this one is size 8 bead, 18827. And I probably have these already, so yeah. And then I have some purple beads that are lavender beads, which is 62047. And then I have some petite glass beads, which is 42011. It's a nice gold color. And then there was 3 Karen water lilies. This is Karkum, K-A-R-A-K-U-M. And then this one is Antique Rose. And Antique Rose has gray, and it's got a gray hue to it as well. So it's like dusty. It's a dusty color. And then this one is African Sunset. So it's got a really big pop of orange in there, but it's pretty. So yeah, I completely blew that stash restraint. So I didn't blow my start. So I'm still not going to blow the start. I have enough going. I don't need any more. And I do want to apologize for going over my 2016 plans twice in a row. I'm sorry about that. I will not show you anything I haven't worked on from here on out. So if I haven't touched it, it's staying in a drawer. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling about that. This, I want to say, though, I may tea dye this, because I think if I tea dye this, and I think it'll look good. I think it'll look really pretty. So I might give that a tea dye or a coffee stain or something to darken it up, because I don't know if I don't want it on white, but I'm not buying any more fabric, so, because I have plenty of fabrics. And yeah, that's all I've got for you for this month. So I hope you guys have a great stitching month, and I will see you next month. Bye.